What is going on, guys? It's me, Rakus, back with a new video. And today I want to do a bit of a different video. I want to talk about a certain thing, a certain herb called Ashwagandha, which is something I really would like to talk about because I tested this and I want to go into a bit why I tested it, what happened, and just talk about this herb in general a bit. Before we go into this, just real quick overview here for people who don't even know what this is. Ashwagandha is an evergreen shrub that grows in Asia and Africa. It is commonly used for stress. There's little evidence for its use as an adaptogen. Ashwagandha contains chemicals that might help calm the brain, reduce swelling, lower blood pressure, and alter the immune system. Since ashwagandha is traditionally used as an adaptogen, it is used for many conditions related to stress. Adaptogens are believed to help the body resist physical and mental stress. Some of the conditions it is used for include insomnia, aging, anxiety, and many others, but there's no good scientific evidence to support most of those uses. There's also no good evidence to support using ashwagandha for COVID-19. Don't confuse ashwagandha with Physalis alkanki. I don't even know what that is. Both are known as winter cherry. Also, don't confuse ashwagandha with American ginseng, Panax ginseng, or eleuthero, whatever that is. Now, just as a quick overview here, because I mainly want to talk about my experience with it, right? If you want to know more about it, you can obviously, get some information yourself about ashwagandha. And let's get into it, why I started testing it or why I wanted to use it. So, it's, how should I start? The thing is, I've been never diagnosed with anything because I never really went to the doctor for stuff about my mental issues that I have. But I always realized or understood my character, right? You understand how you are and how you act around people and social situations. And I would say that I have anxiety. I have anxiety. The reason I think I have anxiety is because I'm a person that pretty much, I feel the best when I'm alone, right? When I'm not around people. That's when I feel the most relaxed and comfortable and feel like I can be the way I am. The reason I got into this is because I started researching about things to help me with this. Because I realized that when I go to the store, for example, right, I start sweating, right? I'm around people, I start sweating. I start looking at everyone. I feel like everyone is looking at me. I can literally sense everything around me. Like I can tell, oh, this guy, I can listen what this guy says, what this guy says. Everything it's just so much going on that I get into a bit of a, I wouldn't say a panic attack, but I get sweaty. I start getting red in my face. It's a very uncomfortable situation, right? And I always thought that I have like a social anxiety pretty much. And that's the reason why I'm always warm when I'm in uncomfortable situations. It also happens to me when I'm streaming sometimes, when I know people are watching me. I feel like I have to go and open a window when I'm playing alone, though. I never have to do that. It is something about my mental health that is not very good. I'm not sure if I have depression. Maybe a little bit of it. I'm not sure. However, I know this about myself, right? And I thought, what can I do against it? Because I'm not a guy who goes to the doctor because I just don't want to. I think going to the doctor for some mental things is just weird. It's just, what the fuck is a doctor gonna do? He has no fucking idea what I have, right? I'm just not putting a lot of trust into people to understand what I have because it's not a physical thing. It's more like a mental thing. So I started looking into this, and I saw ashwagandha, right? And I saw that it's supposedly good against anxiety, and it helps you calm down. People posted very positive reviews about it, and I was like, damn, I need this. I want to try this. It's something you can order, right? You don't need a prescription from your doctor for it. That's why I was big into it, because I thought that's cool. Because I also would have liked to try some antidepressiva stuff, but you have to go to a doctor for this, and that's why I never got it, right? Because I figured that if I can order something myself, it cannot be that crazy or that bad, because well, you can order it yourself, right? That's kind of what my logic. I don't know. Maybe it's weird. However, I ordered it and I started taking it. It says you should take 3 pills. This is, by the way, ashwagandha here. It's like little capsules of this herb. And it says 3 capsules a day. I started with 2 a day. And immediately, I think the first and second day, I immediately started realizing what it does to me. I think if you're a person who understands yourself, if you understand yourself very well and you can very easily tell what's happening with you, then you could feel those effects really quick, right? Because first I thought it was placebo, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And people also say that it's not placebo, that it actually can work really fast. And the first couple of days, I realized one thing, and it was weird. Like I told you guys about this, that I don't know what this is about me, if this is something normal or if everyone does it, but I realize everything that happens around me, like everything, like I pay way too much attention to everything around me. I don't know how to explain it better. It's more like when someone walks past me, I hear what he says. I just there's so many impacts around me that I'm paying attention to that I shouldn't, because it doesn't matter. It's not. It has nothing to do with me, right? It's. I don't know what this is, but um, that immediately stopped with us. And it was scary and really fucking peaceful. It was insane. It was actually insane. I felt so much better because I also adapted kind of an attitude like I didn't really care. But I didn't just say it, it was actually that way. Like a lot of times, I'm like a person that when something happens emotionally, or someone talks down to you, or someone, you know, blames you for something, I would take this home and think about this for days, right? Because I would be mad about it. I would think about it all the time. And this stopped with this. This was so insane. Like, I cannot understand, because a lot of times I would say, like, yeah, it's not that bad, but I would keep thinking about it. With this, it actually stopped. So, this is one of the biggest positives. If you're a person like this, that is insane. Also, something that happened where that was also kind of scary. It happened later on, though, not the first couple of days. I think this was months in. Was that I started forgetting things, and now I'm not sure if that is actually forgetting things or not thinking about much that I was thinking so much before. So let me give you an example. For example, a lot of times when I get home, I would check if I closed the door. I would check it again. I would always make sure it's closed. I would think about it. Or I have this thing where the stove, when the stove is all on zero, right? I would check multiple times if it's on zero. Like little things that I overdid way too much for some fucking reason. I stopped doing, and I was like, oh shit, did I forget? It was like, it was weird. It made me way more relaxed. Also, the fact that my pulse seemed to be very good. And the way I realized this is because I sometimes have nightmares, right? And I'm scared of spiders, for example. And I used to have frequent nightmares for some reason. I mean, not frequent, every second, third day or something. And I remember whenever I had nightmares, I would kind of wake up and my pulse would be really fast. However, with taking this, I'm pretty sure it was because of this, my pulse would stay super chill. Even after a nightmare, I would not get this heart pumping going on. This was insane. Like, also really, really good. I was way more relaxed and calm in situations where I wasn't before, right? So far, after telling you this seems really good, right? This seems really good because actually everything that bothers me about myself stopped with this. It literally stopped. I'm not just saying this. I know it stopped. Now you think, well, why did you I actually stopped taking it, right? So why did I stop taking it? There was also something that happened, which I think is actually worse. And I'm not sure if that is because I have depression. Maybe you should not take this if you have depression, because I do think I have depression. Everything was more gray. So how should I say this? I'm already a person that, how should I say this? I'm not having fun doing much, right? Um, but how should I explain this? Goddamn. Um, but with this, with ashwagandha, everything looked even more gray, right? For example, I was in a mood where I was just whatever, man. Like it was worse than what I have right now, even though I think I already have depression. Everything feels gray. Like imagine you go through a life and everything is gray. That's kind of how it felt. Even worse than I already am in an even worse situation than I'm already in right now. And that's why I stopped taking it, because I actually started sometimes crying. And I usually, sure, sometimes I cry, but I don't cry that much, right? But I got into very emotional episodes where I was fucking, what the fuck am I doing on this planet? Like it was even worse than I'm already in the way I am right now. So that's why I stopped taking it, because it was scaring me, because that effect was never like that before, and that is literally worse than it is right now. So it's kind of sucks, because I thought I can take all those positives out of this, but then there's also a fucking negative with it, and that negative was so bad, um, that I stopped taking it. One thing I realized though, which was very cool, I started standing up for myself way more. Some people would maybe say that I was, what is frech in English? God damn it. I'm looking for this word here. What is cheeky? Cheeky is that word? Okay. Yeah, maybe some people would say I was cheeky, or maybe not very nice to them, but I would stand up for myself way more. Like, I would lose any, um like, before, I would have been scared of like saying something, like, just to explain it, like when I was talking to my boss, for example, a lot of times I'm a yes sayer. I'm a guy who says yes, I'm doing it, yes I can. I'm always like the nice guy who, like, tries to help, but most of the times also gets abused because of it, right? But with this shit, I had no issues telling my boss in his face what I was thinking. Like, I was way more direct, and I was like fucking standing up for myself pretty much. So by hearing all of this, right, you guys would think, well, the positives outweigh the negatives, but I don't think so, actually. Because even with people where I had really good relationships with before, I started not having good relationships anymore, because I was just kind of cheeky, kind of direct, kind of fucking in your face, even with people that I liked. Where if I wouldn't have taken this, I would have felt bad for saying stuff like this. I would maybe go back, apologize, or say, like, yeah, I didn't mean it that way. But with this, man, I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like, you just stop caring somehow about literally anything. So I that's why I'm so disappointed, because I would like to keep taking it, because there's a lot of positives this brings that would help my character the way I am, because I'm a bit of an emotional kind of nice guy who doesn't really know what he wants, right? And but I think the emotional stuff that happened with me was worse. Like, it was worse. Like, I think maybe if you have everything that I have, but you don't have depression, maybe then it's good, because it will maybe you get into depression with this. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I'm just sad because it has so many positive effects. But the emotional one was so bad that I stopped taking it now for a week, and I feel like a bit more, like I'm liking life a bit more, you know. So that's all I'm trying to say. So if you want to try this, guys, ashwagandha, would I recommend to someone? The thing is, I would have said yes. I recommend it to people with anxiety, for shy people. But then again, those people are probably the people who have depression too, right? If you had the anxiety for a long time, there's probably a high chance you have depression, and then I wouldn't recommend it, because the emotional stuff hit later on though. Like, I was going through this and I felt good. It felt good, but like after a couple of months, like how long was I taking it? Maybe 3 months. After a couple of months, um, it gets bad. Like, life is very gray then, right? So, man, it's hard for me to talk about it if I would recommend it or not. But like I said, for me, I think the negatives, the emotional side, it's just too bad, right? So maybe you can try it. I thought about maybe just taking one capsule a day, so I get some of the positive effects of it, and maybe not too bad into the depression. Um, I wouldn't say this causes depression, right? I'm just saying that if you already have depression, because I heard somewhere that the negative side effects are that you get colder, that you get, oh, right, and maybe that makes depression even worse. So I don't know, guys. It's a crazy thing, and maybe it's worth trying for people who have bad anxiety. I can tell you this helps you, because if you have anxiety, then you know what it does to you, and you will feel the difference with this. But make sure you stop. if you realize that you're emotional just going down the fucking drain. So if you have depression, probably. So it's hard to explain. I maybe I start taking it again. Maybe just one capsule a day. I keep trying experimenting with this because this, like, if I have to summarize this, I would say if you're like a nice guy, a nice person who's always good, and maybe sometimes gets abused because you're so good, and you have anxiety when you go to the store, you have panic attacks, right? And you take this, it brings out the evil in you, kind of. That's what I'm feeling. Like you become a version of yourself that defends yourself, which is really cool. But after everything happened, for some reason, you realize emotionally that it wasn't good, and you maybe start crying or something. It also kind of makes you tired a bit, guys. I didn't say this. I think this does make you tired a bit. Maybe especially at the start if you're taking it. But man, take what you will out of what I said. I tried to explain it as good as I could to what happened to me and what it did. Actually, it says here side effects. You see, maybe there's something on here. Ashwagandha is possibly safe when used up for 3 months, or maybe I took it longer than 3 months. Yeah. The long-term safety of ashwagandha is not known. Large doses of ashwagandha might cause stomach upset, diarrhea, vomiting, rarely liver problems. I didn't have any of those things, including severe liver failure. And the need for a liver transplantation might occur. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I guess this stuff stands on everything, but like I said, in hindsight, I would not take it anymore, right? Because even though I like a lot of effects it has, and I think it makes people stronger that have anxiety, it makes life way too gray. And which is a weird thing for me to say for a guy who already sees life kind of gray, right? But it's not that gray. So, yeah, take from it what you will, guys. I just really wanted to do a video about this because it was actually one of the first things I actually tried over months. And yeah, it is in theory, such a good thing for people with anxiety, but just not worth it, guys. Not worth it. But maybe if you guys want to try it, if you're in a really bad anxiety state, then, why not try it and see if maybe it's better for you than it was for me. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys maybe the next time I do a video. Bye-bye.